All right, let's get right into it. Today we're going to tackle a topic that's, well, it's super common, maybe a little embarrassing for some, but actually pretty fascinating. We are talking all about drooling in your sleep.
Come on, you know you have. I think we can all admit we've been there. You wake up from a really deep sleep, your cheek is kind of damp, and, your pillow has definitely seen better days. It's one of those universal human things, but why? Why does it actually happen? So, right off the bat, let's just get this out of the way. The source material is super clear on this. For the vast, vast majority of us, waking up to a bit of drool is completely 100% normal. So really, you can breathe a big sigh of relief.
And that leads us right into our first section, where we're going to explore just how normal this whole thing is. Because let's be real, it happens in all sorts of situations we've all found ourselves in.
Right? I mean, you've seen it, maybe you've been that person. You're on a long flight, you doze off, and bam, you wake up with that little telltale wet spot on your shoulder. Or, as our source points out, maybe even on someone's brand new couch. Yeah, it's awkward, but it's really just a sign that you were in a deep, totally relaxed sleep.
And while for some of us, this might only happen during an accidental nap, our source points out that for a lot of other people, it's just a regular part of their morning, just as normal as their alarm clock going off. Okay, so what is the actual science here? Why does our body do this when we're asleep, but not when we're, walking around wide awake during the day? Let's get into the mechanics of it.
So here's the key difference. Think about you when you're awake versus you when you're asleep. When you're awake, your body is just on autopilot, constantly and automatically swallowing extra saliva. You don't even have to think about it. But when you fall asleep, especially into that deep sleep, all your facial muscles and your swallowing reflexes just completely chill out. They relax. Your body is still making saliva, but you're just not swallowing it as often. And that right there is what our source calls benign drooling. It's harmless. Gravity just takes over, and any saliva that's hanging out in your mouth finds the easiest way out. It's not a sign of a problem at all. In fact, you could almost think of it as proof that you've hit a state of total blissful relaxation. Okay, so we've established it's usually just a sign of a great night's sleep. But what if it's pointing to something more? As we're about to see, sometimes that drool can be a clue that there's something else going on. Now hold on before anyone panics. This doesn't undo everything we just said. Drooling is usually harmless, but it's also important to be aware that in some cases, it can be a symptom that's connected to other health factors. Actually, the source article points to 10 common reasons for sleep drooling, and this is where it gets really interesting, because the list covers a huge range of things, from something as simple as your sleeping position, like if you're a side sleeper, to things like allergies or a cold that's blocking your nose and forcing you to breathe through your mouth. It can even be linked to more serious things like sleep apnea, which is definitely something you'd want to talk to a professional about.
So that brings us to the most important question, right? When should you actually be concerned? How do you know if your drooling is just a laundry issue or a reason to pick up the phone and call your doctor?
And the answer really is all about context. The drooling itself is almost never the issue. The real question you should ask is what else is going on? Is this a brand new thing for you? Is it happening along with other changes in your health? That's what really matters.
So here's the general rule of thumb from our source material. You should think about talking to a doctor if this drooling just started out of nowhere, or if it's happening alongside other new symptoms, like maybe trouble swallowing or breathing. And honestly, if it's just really worrying you, it's always a good idea to get a professional opinion. So to wrap this all up, that damp spot on your pillow is most likely just proof that you had a deep, fantastic, relaxing sleep. But you know what? It's also a great reminder to just listen to your body. So the next time it happens, don't just go reaching for a new pillowcase. Maybe take a second and ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me?